Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Doing this video this morning from Oak Park Metro Station. And I just came down here, I drove down here from Forest Park to take a little walk before I got to go do some shopping. And there's an air quality alert, and it's because got a blue line train coming into the station. It's because we've got wildfire smoke going down from Canada. And if you look back here, there's buildings back there. Downtown Chicago is back there. You should be able to see that. Temperature right now is just about 80 degrees. It's about 27 degrees Celsius. Fun fact, 82 degrees Fahrenheit is 28 degrees Celsius. So it's a place on the scale where the digits are reversed. Actually, there's one other set of temperatures in the 2-digit range where that's true as well. Give you a hint, it's cooler than 82 degrees / 28 degrees Fahrenheit Celsius. But the thing about this is, this air quality is awful. I mean, just walking over here, I could feel it. You know, when I drove over here, I passed a guy riding his bike, and I was like, wow, this is not the day to be riding your bike. Got to change locations here, but, you know, not only has it been so hot you can't go outside, now you can't go outside because of all this smoke blowing down from wildfires. And it's hot because of the heat wave. And the science on this is the heat wave is because of global warming. And sorry, all you deniers, you need to, wake up and realize the people who tell you this isn't happening are lying to you, and they're lying to you because of profits. So you really need to wake up and smell the coffee, because we're going to be cooked really soon. I had to change locations again. As I said, if we don't get it together, we're going to be cooked, and actually could be literally cooked, and I'll get to that in a minute. But I'll tell you what. Folks know that I drive an EV, a Kia EV6, and I'm a big proponent of electric vehicles. You know, technology is getting better and better. There are now, Chinese have cars that'll charge in like 5 minutes. One of those companies over there, BYD, it's kind of doing what Tesla did. They got their own charging stations, and their cars at their charging stations will charge in like 5 minutes and go 300 miles. So, and you know, here's an interesting little thing here. You notice that the folks who say, well, you know, EVs are going to be too much strain on the grid. And you ever hear any of these folks saying the same thing about data centers, which actually are a strain on the grid, and also a strain on water resources, and actually also put out a lot of heat. And that is why they're a strain on water resources, because they got to cool that stuff, right? Well, one of the science channels that I follow, and I follow a few, you got to be careful though, because some science channels are just absolute crap, and they prey on people being scientifically illiterate, which means there's plenty of prey for them. But as you know, I've mentioned before, I have a master's degree in molecular biology. I actually considered other sciences as well, and just kind of settled on biology. But so one of the science channels that I watch is this channel by a guy named Anton Petrov, and I'm going to put a link to this video he just did regarding energy use, and it's more in terms of explaining the Fermi Paradox. And what is the Fermi Paradox? Well, Enrico Fermi was a physicist. A lot of people know who he was, and it's kind of a famous thing. He was at lunch with his colleagues, and he said, "Where are they?" And they're like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, you know, if we're in this universe and there's all kinds of life all over the place, and intelligent life, how come they've not been here? How come we can't detect them? You know, it looks like we're it." I know, these UFO people are coming and saying, "No, they're already here." Some of that stuff is so easily debunked. It'd be a totally different video. But this video that Anton Petrov did talking about that was talking about civilizations and energy use. and that for civilization to survive, it has to get very efficient in its energy use because of that heat, that waste heat. And it turns out, if we stay on the track we're on, we're actually going to overheat the planet with the waste heat, not just climate gases, waste heat. And it's going to be sooner than everybody thinks. And so, my attitude about data centers, and you got to realize something. Every time you use AI, I mean, some AI is done on your computer, but if you look at Adobe Lightroom, when you do certain things like AI denoise and generative fill, same thing with Photoshop, it's connecting to a server. Your computer isn't doing that, which means a data center. And my attitude about data centers is obviously we need them, but they have to be a whole lot more efficient. And they have to be run on renewable energy. You have to mandate that if you're going to build a data center, you better cover that roof with solar panels. And you better have a big-ass battery, which those exist. In fact, sodium-ion batteries for that kind of thing are going to be a thing in the next few years. And sodium-ion batteries do not require any kind of rare materials to make. So, but coming out here to do photography and then seeing the air quality, because these wildfires are due to temperatures being hot and drying stuff out and stuff catching fire. And I remember 20 years ago when these people were like going, oh, that's just not going to happen. Rush Limbaugh, I remember him, I wasn't a listener, but I heard this, saying that, yeah, that's not going to happen. Yeah, but here we are. And here I am sitting in this smoky hellhole. So, to summarize this, we need to get our act together, folks. And y'all who are denying, you need to stop listening to people who are lying to you. And if you drop a comment, it's probably not going to last long. I'll tell you what, I am not interested in arguing with people who will believe a lie with no evidence and then demand endless evidence and still not believe the truth. So that's it for today. Sorry for the little tangent away from photography, but given what it looks like here today, I felt like I had to say something. So I'm going to take a few more pictures, and I'll leave you with a slideshow. I'm Todd Banner. I'll see you in the next video.